Drop down a comment below. It can be short, it can be long, whatever you want to do. Just a little comment that talks about your experience, specifically that first week. Because I know there's going to be a lot of new tegu owners coming to this video for years to come, and those comments below will really help them out. If you say, my tegu hit a lot, it didn't eat, I was stressed, but everything worked out okay, that will reassure a lot of other tegu owners who are going through this. Whenever they go down to those comments, they see, okay, this is pretty normal what I'm going through. So-and-so went through the same thing. You know, I think that will be very helpful. If you guys think so too, then drop a comment below and help out the community. So when you first get your tegu, you ordered your tegu, the day's finally come, you receive that package, and then what? You open it up, you put your tegu away, you handle it, but what can you really expect, especially that first week? Okay, you've done all your research, you're totally prepared, you know the husbandry, you know the care, you've watched all the videos, but that first week can still be a little tricky, and it kind of needs a little bit of experience. Once you go through it a couple times, then it's no big deal, but that first week often looks different than what you expect. And so I'm making this video to help you guys out, to help better prepare you, have healthy expectations, especially for that first week when you get that baby tegu home. It's important to have healthy expectations and to kind of understand what the tegu's going through a little bit to help you better, you know, combat that and how to deal with that correctly that doesn't lead to any long-term issues. So let's jump into this video, and I'm going to talk to you guys about 4 things to be prepared for the first week. So jumping right into it, the first thing that we're going to talk about, which I think is pretty important, and that is healthy expectations. You got to have healthy expectations. We all know what we kind of want with a tegu. Okay, we have similar goals. I get it. You guys want a big lizard that is a puppy, that is tame and fun and interactive and just so enjoyable. That takes work. It takes a lot of work. And when you get that little baby, it may not be all of those things that you want it to be in the future. Well, it's because it's a little baby. So it takes some work. Have healthy expectations. That's number 1. Your baby's going to be skittish. It's going to do a lot of hiding. It's not going to right off the bat just like want to run up and be with you. Okay, that takes some time. It's got to learn to trust you, and you have to learn how to trust the tegu as well. So healthy expectations, I try to send them off with a really good foundation, but really it's going to be you guys that put in that work. Okay, now in this next part 2, we are going to be talking about handleability. I get a lot of questions. People get their tegus and they immediately start to wonder, when can I handle this tegu? You know, what do I do? I don't know. I did my research, but now that it's here, I'm not sure. Now, in just a moment, we're going to talk about some warnings, some things to be cautious about when it comes to handling your tegus right away. But first, let's just get into it. And yes, I definitely support handling your tegus immediately. I just went up here and I got this tegu out of its enclosure. It did not want me to pick it up. But guess what? We're having a good experience. This tegu is learning right now, like, okay, it's not so bad when Joey comes in and he pulls me out. It's not bad at all. And this tegu is going to gain, through experience, it's going to gain confidence. Okay, so what I recommend is when you get your tegu, you handle it immediately. You handle it right away. You can let it go in its enclosure, adjust a little bit, but don't be afraid to pull it out when he buries himself in a corner or in its hide or somewhere else. Get in there, handle your tegu. It's very important that you do that right away before they develop any bad habits. Oh, yeah, that was that smells good. Thanks. Thank you for that. Just pooped on me. Okay, we're back. We just took a bath. We're clean now. But that's how it goes. You handle your tegus, you get pooped on, but it's all worth it in the end, working towards that goal of having an animal that fully trusts you and that you can fully trust as well. It's worth it. Trust me. So, handle them right away. Now let's jump into the handling part B, where we talk about some things that you need to be cautious of doing. And then on the same topic of the handleability, one thing that you want to keep in mind whenever you get your tegu, and you guys know how I encourage you to get hands-on and get handsy with your new tegu. One thing to keep in mind is the location that you are handling that tegu in. Make sure that it's kind of tegu proofed. Okay, you have a few options. One, keep your hands in the enclosure, okay, and don't pull out. Another one is I've seen people like modify their bathroom, put something under the door, make sure there's no places that the tegu can fit in and get lost and disappear, and you can actually let the tegu, you can kind of sit in the bathroom and let the tegu walk around and see if it, you know, walks on you and, you know, kind of comes up to you on its own. That's always a good thing. Or even the bathtub, you know, clog the drain, sit in there and, you know, let the tegu walk on you. Do not open your box. No, you can do this if you want, but just, I've seen so many people have to take their dash apart in their car because their tegu got out in there. So be very cautious whenever you pick up your tegu from FedEx and when you're opening it up in your car. Be careful with that, because if they get lost there, you're gonna have a bad day. So that's it for handleability. So right here in my hands, little squirmy, I've got one of the high white pure blues. This is a nice one, really beautiful animal. We still have some of these guys available, but what to expect when this guy or any of them arrive at your door that first week. That we're going to talk about is appetite. Some of them, now remember, tegus, they're all individuals, just like me and you. Some of them are going to arrive and be ready to eat right away. I would say most of the time, at least half, but probably most of the time, they are not going to want to eat when you first get them. And some of that is because I believe the animal kind of has a plan when it shows up. It's either going to be planning to eat and bask or hide and not eat. So be prepared for the appetite of the animal to kind of be a little bit less than usual. That is totally normal. It's totally acceptable and okay. But what you want to avoid, the mistake that you don't want to make, is using certain foods to get them to come out of hiding and eat. A lot of times those foods can be a bit addictive. They may not be the best thing to be offering on a consistent basis. What I see a lot of people do is putting tons of like raw egg on their food. We all know tegus go crazy for raw egg, okay? But I also know that it can be an addictive food in their diet. I use raw egg occasionally, okay? I don't use it that often, but, and I'm not saying raw egg is bad. I'm not trying to say that at all. But what I am trying to say is don't develop bad habits to get your tegu to come out of hiding. If you want it to come out of hiding, just go in there and pick it up. But you don't have to like lure it out with certain foods that you wouldn't be offering anyways. Okay, so it just comes back down to, do you trust your husbandry? Okay, do you have the confidence in that? And then just trusting your animal that it's making good decisions for itself. That's pretty much it. You don't have to lure it out with any other foods. Just offer it what you want to offer it, and it'll eventually come out and eat and have an appetite and be a normal tegu. Now, the fourth and final thing that you have to be ready for, and this is a pretty important one to me at least. So make sure you're listening. But the fourth and final thing is to be prepared for these little guys to be addictive, and you're going to want another one. So I would say 90% of people that get a tegu plan on getting another one the following year. And probably, I would say like this year, it's been about 25%, maybe more, people that as soon as they receive theirs, they start making plans right then to receive another one in the next couple weeks. So be prepared to be addicted. This is a high white purple, beautiful little guy that we have available. So yeah, so that is the fourth and final tip in today's video. hopefully these tips are useful to you, especially if you are planning on buying a tegu soon, or you just got one, or you plan on getting one in the future. Keep these things in mind. Try not to panic. Stay calm, tegu on, and just as long as you have your husbandry set up correctly, temperatures, basking spot, you guys know what I'm talking about, as long as those perimeters are correct, then you don't have anything to worry about. Then you just monitor your animal, and you handle it, help it adjust, and it'll come around. So typically that adjustment period lasts about a week, but as I say with everything, tegus are individuals. Some may take longer, some take no time at all. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching another Rose City Reptiles video. Thank you for all the support. Subscribe if you haven't. We have some big plans coming. And finally, tegu season. I've loved it, but it's starting to slow down a little bit. And we will have more time to make more videos just like this one. So if you haven't yet, subscribe, join Rose City Reptiles, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.